Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Naziha Amira binti Mujtahidin. I am from CTU 3514A3. In this first part of the video, I will present to you about Islamic financial system in Malaysia. As we all know, Islam has spread widely all over the world in different kind of form, starting from its culture and the affair system that has been derived from Al-Quran and As-Sunnah and has been practiced since then. It spread through various mediums such as newspaper, social media, and other platforms. Not forget to mention, Islam has influenced our financial system in a good way, and this system brings more avail to our economy. Since its introduction in 1963, our country has developed increasingly and shown tremendous growth to our economy. It helps stabilize the global economy by embedding social and ethical responsibilities in investment activities and sustaining natural economic growth. The main objective of Islamic financial system is to operate in line with conventional system in their own way. In order to appeal themselves as an effective substitution to conventional financing, Islamic financial system need to show their own capabilities in developing modern alternatives for not only for Muslim but also non-Muslim, and at the same time compliance with Sharia requirements. Islamic financing also open to non-Muslim as some of them may be drawn to the Islamic bank due to its prohibition in any illegal elements. As you can see, Islamic financing has produced various products and services, and one of them is Al-Ijarah, which is leasing. Al-Ijarah is a contract that has been formed to allow the lessee to use an equipment or property for a certain period of time in exchange for rental payment. Al-Ijarah is an attractive mode of investment for Islamic banks and popular among publics as it gives benefits to both parties, which is lessor and lessee. The attribution of this product has shown its superiority in the Islamic financial system compared to other products.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afzah Hazira binti Anwar. I'm from Kota Tinggi, Johor. Matrix number 2019-297154, and I will explain about the concept of Ijarah. For your information, Ijarah is a term used in Islamic business. It refers to a contract in which one party gives another party the right to use an item he or she owns for a set period of time in exchange for a fee. It also known as Islamic leasing informally. Ijarah had been practicing before the time of Prophet Muhammad SAW, and at that time it is common to hire cattle or wild animals to work in plantations, transport vehicles, grain or towing caravans. Besides, we also want to focus on Ijarah Thumma Al-Ba'i or ITAB, which refers to hire purchase. The contract is incorporates both Al-Ijarah, which is rent, and Al-Ba'i, which is sale and purchase. The primary contract is known as Ijarah. Its reason is to lay out all the terms for the renting or the leasing over a fixed period. Next, the Ba'i contract is the second process, which is its aim is for initiate the selling purchase as soon as the Ijarah's term have expired. For example, at a vehicle financing facility, the customer may enter an Ijarah contract renting a car from the bank or the owner for a certain period at a certain payment price. As indicated by most of scholars, the pillars of Ijarah are divided into four. To be specific, first, the two contracting parties are an individual who gives something to employ and an individual who takes on recruit like lessor and lessee. Second, talq or sigah is a formal exchange of bids and approval between the contracting parties. It must be clear and understandable. And lastly, wages and benefits allude to the cost or charge given for the installment of a lease or potentially rent, and benefits refers to the income derived from something. For instance, usufruct and administrations or utilities. Apart from that, there are also certain situations that can cause the Ijarah contract to expire or terminate. Among them is when the period of Ijarah itself has expired. After that, if the contract object has been lost or damaged, for example, a rented house is on fire. Third, it can also be terminated if one of the contracting members dies. 4. There are obstacles to proceed with Ijarah such as building and houses being confiscated and it resulting in the termination of the Ijarah contract. And lastly, the lessor may stipulate that the Ijarah contract be ended in case the lessee does not pay the lease or did not pay it on time. Next, I will leave it to Siti Dalila for further explanation on the application of Ijarah in vehicle financing.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Dalila binti Badru Anam. Now, I'm going to continue the presentation with the Ijarah applications in vehicle financing. As explained before, Ijarah basically means that leasing or renting of the assets or equipments which involves two parties or maybe more between the owner and the user with or without transferring the ownership of it. Also, Ijarah offers the interest-free the accordance to Sharia principle. People are widely applying the Ijarah, especially in this vehicles Ijarah, due to spikes in demand on owning or using a vehicle as it is very convenient and save time to go anywhere. Ijarah has two different contracts due to its different situations. The first contract, which operating lease, is known as Ijarah Ain in Islamic term. Basically, it is a short-term process when the lessor allows lessee to use the benefits of the services or products for an agreed period without transferring the ownership rights. In Ijarah vehicles, it started when the owner of the vehicles termed as Mu'ajir, lessor, allows the Mustajir, lessee, to utilize the vehicles. Mustajir then obliged to make a payment for a rights to use the asset within the agreed period of time before Mu'ajir will take back the vehicles and leads to termination of the lease contracts. These types of contracts has its own benefits for both of the party involved. As for Mu'ajir, it provides a mechanism to obtain a fixed interest on a vehicle as the vehicle depreciation value keep increasing, while Mustajir will express the low-cost medium to use vehicles benefit without the requirement to purchase the vehicle from the market that are more pricey. Second types of contract is finance lease, which best known as Al-Ijarah Tuma Al-Bay in Islamic terms. It is a form of Ijarah where the ownership will be transferred to the lessee after the end of a specific period has been reached along with the completion of the payment of the vehicles. In further explanations, it started when the customer deals with the Islamic banks who is Mu'ajir, lessor, to request for vehicles financing. After that, the banks will purchase the asset and transfer the ownership of the vehicles from the vendor. The banks next will pay to them and continue leasing to the Mustajir, lessee. After execution of the lease agreement, Mustajir will make periodic payment as agreed in a contract. At the end of the payment, with the agreed period of time, Mustajir be the ownership of the vehicles. If the customer fails to fulfill this flow, the bank may repossess the vehicles. The benefits in this particular contract are: it involves less complicated documentations and less time-consuming to enter into agreement, as it doesn't need credit evaluation from the lessee. Besides, they just need to pledge collateral to lessor. Both of the contracts of these ijara facilities are widely offered by mostly Islamic banks or in other financial institutions in Malaysia. Based on its benefits, it shows that ijara is truly a practice where it could benefit both sides of the party to ensure the fairness and equity in transacting.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I hope sir and all my fellow friends are doing fine. My name is Siti Nushazana binti Muhammad Rasti and my matric number is 2019418722. And I'm currently doing my online class in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang, since my hometown is here. And now I'm going to explain the difference between the Islamic and conventional vehicle financing. Nowadays, having a car is the second most costly and the most significant to purchase after buying a home. And a person has two choices, either to make a car purchase or apply for vehicle financing. But usually people will choose to apply for vehicle financing due to the lack of funds. We all know the basic difference between the Islamic and conventional banking is the contractual agreement. In conventional banking, the contract between the customer and the bank is centered on the loan and the interest is charged. Meanwhile, interest or riba is forbidden in Islamic banking and all the contract must comply with the Sharia principle. Here are the simple illustration to understand better, which we can see the customer need to pay for the interest or also known as riba to the conventional banking. But if we look into Islamic banking, the customer only need to pay for the loan and interest or riba is not charged. And I'm pretty sure that all of us must know and aware about this, especially for Muslims, that riba is prohibited in Al-Quran and Hadith because we believe it is considered as exploitative practice in Islam. Okay, now let's look more into deep between these two under vehicle financing. Islamic vehicle financing, that also known as vehicle ijara, was created using Islamic concept and fully interest-free. Ijara is an Arabic word that means to rent something based on a lease contract, which the lessor will transfer a property to another party, which is leasing at an agreed upon period of price and for an agreed period of time. The asset will stay in the bank's ownership and the banks will assume the risk. In ijara concept, no party can terminate it without the other's permission unless one of them breach it. Moreover, in ijara, the late payment penalties are considered illegal and therefore cannot be charged. On the other hand, a conventional vehicle financing is an interest-based loan with interest charged on that loan. Furthermore, the lease contract violates Islamic Sharia that contains riba. Any losses on the asset are not the responsibility of the bank and the bank has the right to cancel arrangement at any time. Moreover, a late payment penalty is imposed in conventional vehicle financing. In addition, in the ijara contract, the customer are expected to hold a security deposit which 20% of the car's value as a minimum with a maximum of 15%. In the conventional perspective, the requirement is indeed a down payment which 20% of the purchase price plus the first year's installment. We need to know that the down payment and the security deposit are one-time fees only. Besides, in an Islamic financial tools, the buyer has the right to return the cars at any time before or at the end of the lease term, while in the conventional financing, the buyers cannot return at all. I hope all of you can differentiate between the Islamic and conventional vehicle financing. And I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Ustaz. My name is Siti Nurafika binti Samad and this will be the last video for our group. And I will be present about conclusion. So with all of the ijara and how vehicle financing is exposed, we know that ijara is suited well in our society nowadays and we have to put them at first at a large scale. Exposing how Ijara works to the public is one of the ways to show to all our Muslims in Malaysia. We can see now how Ijara applied well in vehicle financing help us a lot. Ijara did not only help us in managing our property, but Ijara also help us to avoid riba. This is because in a vehicle financing, riba play a huge role at conventional bank by giving their customers interest on lending or buying a vehicle. As this already said in Al-Quran so many times, and one of it is Surah Al-Imran verses 130 and 2. O believers, take not double or redouble interest, and fear God so that you may prosper. Fear the fire which has been prepared for those who reject faith, and obey God and the Prophet so that you may receive mercy. We already been told by Al-Quran itself and Allah itself on how accepting a riba is act as one of the way that can make God furious at us. Although riba is event or provided by one of our Muslim, we simply cannot accept or involving any matters related to riba. This is a reason why you should not take riba at all. It is because riba is considered as one of the exploitation. Islam always show us everything it has to be in kindest way as possible, and riba can be example of selfishness for a wealthy one. As clear as that, we can conclude how Ijara is invented to save Muslim from be exploited more. Ijara is different from conventional vehicle financing. We are the only one who can choose between what is good and what is bad. God already showed us the way, and we have to choose whether we can take it or not. Also, for the future clean economy from riba, this is one of the ways.